What's up, everybody? Big Swede here, coming at you once again from Swede Studios. So I guess today we're going to be doing, I guess you could call it a gear video. We're going to be building a new PC for my audio workstation here. Now, a few years ago on one of my other channels, I did a PC build video. It was actually a series of 3 videos of me building this PC and setting it up and testing it. That one was to replace an old PC I had. It was an off-the-shelf unit. It was getting a little old. It was underpowered to begin with, and it just wasn't cutting it anymore for video editing. Videos were taking me forever to edit and render. So I wanted to build a new PC that was powerful enough to do what I needed to do. Now, as much as I wanted it to be a functional machine to do the things I needed, I also wanted it to be a showpiece. It was going to be on my desktop. I wanted it to look really cool, so I went all out with bells and whistles. I got the case with the glass side and RGB lighting and all kinds of cool stuff. Turned out really great. I loved it. I still use it today. It's my daily driver for everything, and that's kind of why I want to do this, is because that PC has become my everyday use computer. I kind of, with the studio redesign, I wanted to have a dedicated machine just for the audio gear. Now, whereas that one was the showpiece, I wanted it to look cool. This one is going to be strictly function. I'm going to build it inside of a 4U rack mount case. It's going to be tucked away. Nobody's going to see it, so it doesn't need to look cool. I can save money. I don't need to buy RGB lighting or any of that stuff. I can take that money and I can put it into higher quality components to make sure this thing is a beast of a machine. Now, one thing I did with that other video series is it was pretty detailed. I went into pretty much step-by-step instructions of how I was building everything. I'm not going to do that in this video. This one is going to be pretty much just like a time lapse of me building this computer and setting it up. If you really want step-by-step instructions, I mean, there's a ton of videos out there on YouTube anyway, but if you want to check mine out, I'll put a link up there in the description below. You can go check that out if you want. This one, like I said, is going to be short to the point, just kind of a time lapse of me building the thing and getting everything up and running. Before we do that, though, I am going to give you a quick rundown of all the parts I'm going to be using on this build. If you're interested, I can put links to everything that I bought and I'm using here in the description. So let's check it out. Alright, we're going to start with the case, and man, this is a beast of a case. This is the Rosewill RSV R4000U. It's a 4U rack mount case. It's got a lockable front panel, gives you access to your front panel controls, power reset, your front panel USB. Now, this case does come pre-installed with 4 case fans. You have 2 120mm intake fans, 2 80mm exhaust fans. From what I've read, they're a little bit loud, so I'm going to be replacing them with these nice Noctua fans. Noctua stuff is great, really quiet, good airflow, a little bit ugly. They're this kind of ugly brown color, but again, for this build, not going for looks. I don't care. I'm looking for performance, and Noctua stuff is great. Inside of the case, plenty of room. You can go full ATX motherboard in here and have plenty of room for all your components. It does have these little drive trays in here for hard disk drives and stuff. I'm not going to be using any hard disk drives in this. It's going to be all SSD. So I'm going to be taking these out because the intake fans actually blow air through here into the case. And I'm not going to be using them anyway, so I don't want anything in here possibly obstructing airflow, making noise. So all those are going to come out. But yeah, great case to build in. Once we get those Noctua fans in there, it's going to be running nice and quiet. Alright, for our motherboard, we are running the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite Wi-Fi. Not going to use the Wi-Fi capability on this. It's going to be hardwired Ethernet. The only reason I got the Wi-Fi version was the regular version was out of stock. For our CPU, AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. 12-core, 24-thread, beast of a CPU. For any kind of productivity work, man, Ryzen is leaps and bounds above Intel. Intel might have a slight edge in the gaming side of things. I'm not going to be gaming. I don't care. I care about productivity stuff, and Ryzen kills it. And for a lot less money, So if you're going for a productivity PC, look at AMD. On top of that, another Noctua product here. We got the NHD9L CPU cooler. Again, kind of ugly. Again, don't care. It's an awesome, awesome cooler. For RAM, we have 32 gigabytes of G-Skill Ripjaws running 32 megahertz. Like I said, starting out with 32 gigabytes. Might upgrade that to 64 gig here in the future, but for now, 32 is going to do just fine. For our storage, running two M.2 NVMe drives for my main drive, operating system and stuff like that. I've got this P5 Plus from Crucial. It's a PCIe 4.0, so super fast read-write speeds on that. And then just for some additional storage, we have a Crucial P2, which is a PCI 3. A little bit slower read-write speeds, but again, this is more just for additional storage. The faster one is going to be for the operating systems, programs, stuff like that. Both of those are 2 terabyte versions. So I have, to start out with in this build, we're going to have 4 terabytes of storage. And I can always add additional SSDs if I need them. But for now, that's what we got. For our GPU, again, this being a audio PC, I didn't need to go top of the line, 3090 Ti and spend like $2,000 on a GPU. I could cut a little bit of cost on this because it's not as important for an audio machine, but still got a pretty decent card here. We got a GeForce RTX 3050, which is kind of a the budget model of the 30 series, but still better than the GPU I have in the other machine I built a couple years ago, but not costing an arm and a leg. And then last but not least, power supply. 650 watt power supply, which is more than adequate for what I'm doing here. Again, I'm not running like a super high-end GPU that's going to need a lot of power, so 650 watts is more than adequate. This is a 80 plus gold rated, so nice and efficient. And that is what we got. So let's get building.
Wasted so much more in their time. We've wasted so many lives. All for you. All for you. All for you. It's all for you.
All right, here we go. Finished build. Again, not the prettiest build in the world. We've done some rudimentary cable management just to get the bird's nest taken care of. But again, we're not going for looks on this one. It's all going to be covered up, so we're worried about the performance. And now it's moment of truth time. We're going to turn on the power supply and hit that power button and see what happens. Okay, so we got fans spinning up. We got lights on the motherboard. Looking good. GPU fans are spinning. CPU fans spinning. Looks like we got a successful build here. Gonna hook up some monitors and see what we got. All right, it's the next day. Windows is installed. Everything is running smooth and stable. No issues so far. Working on getting programs reinstalled and getting my plugin library transferred over. I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. It's like watching paint dry, but just want to give you an update that we are up and running and everything is going well. If you guys have any questions on this build, or if you're planning to do a build yourself and you got questions on components, whatnot, hit me up. I'll be happy to answer any questions I can for you. But for right now, I'm going to get back into this so I can get back to work. So we'll catch you guys next time.